Ben Worgull and Raul Vazquez from BadgerBlitz.com here at American Family Field, Wisconsin. Winners today over Stanford, 60-50 in the annual Brew City Classic. We hope it's annual. Greg Gart wants it to be annual. Almost 18,000 Wisconsin fans here today to witness this game. Raul, initial thoughts right after the press conference is what?
I think it's just Wisconsin has some form of identity, just kind of sticking to its roots of relying on the defensive end and grittiness that Wisconsin always has. That seems to stick out through the game.
I think the shooting was really ugly for both teams under 40%, but the difference here in this game is what you mentioned is the defense. Wisconsin has their defensive identity that's been the greatest, has been kind of intertwined in the program, it's been embedded in the program, is what Greg Gart said. And you saw it, especially down the stretch where Stanford cut the lead to 5, just 2 of 10 down the stretch for Stanford. Wisconsin forced 16 turnovers that led to 18 points. I thought Jordan Davis was phenomenal in this game, not only just a career-high 13 points, he had a big 4-point play, cleaned up a Tyler Wall, missed free throw for an offensive rebound for a big series that put Wisconsin up 10 with 4 minutes to go. But he worked Michael Jones all game long. Michael Jones against Pacific on Monday, 31 points, was active from the free throw line and the 3-point line, just 9 here tonight. Stanford just looked out of sorts all night against Wisconsin's physicality.
Exactly. Wisconsin's going to miss the defensive end from Johnny Davis, but Jordan's doing a pretty damn good job so far, kind of filling that in.
I think the other thing, too, that you saw, especially in the first half, was the play of Steven Krall. So many times last year, Krall, when he goes against bigger, more physical forwards, or forwards that are kind of his equal, you saw him get quick fouls and spend a lot of time on the bench, forcing other guys to take long stretches of the game. And Wisconsin doesn't have a lot of depth this year at forward, just 5 forwards on this roster. Krall in the first half, 7 points, 6 rebounds, no fouls, no turnovers. I know he finished with 4, 9 points, a career high 11. That's what Wisconsin needs from him. They need that consistency from him. Obviously, Tyler Wall with another big game, career high, game high 17. This is just one of those games where you just kind of felt whoever was just going to have that run, that sustained run, was going to take over. Now, Wisconsin had some scoring droughts. Could be the sightlines here. It's pretty cavernous in here, but Wisconsin was able to work their way through it with some big plays. I thought Essegian too. Connor Essegian. He's been pretty darn good for this team. I mean, just some of the series that he had, I know we were talking about in the press box, just very fluid, makes the right plays. Pretty good for a freshman just 2 games in.
That's another thing that sticks out to me. I wasn't sure how much of a role he plays here because he's a little slim. He still has to figure out the defensive end, but that scoring he just can't keep off the floor. 24 minutes, 23 minutes, I think it was. And with Klesman and foul trouble, that was key for them. And I do want to shout out Chris Hodges a little bit. He only had 4 or 5 minutes, but in that little stretch, he had a nice offensive board, had it blocked and shot, put back block, but had a nice little run when he was in and did a job.
You like to see that from Hodges because remember, Hodges he redshirted last year. The year before the COVID year, he opted out of his high school senior year, so he really hasn't played anything competitively in a couple of years. So the fact that he's starting to get some minutes, he's starting to work it in the rotation a little bit. Wisconsin went 11 deep at one point too. I mean, that's kind of what you're going to see from the Badgers here. I think against Green Bay on Tuesday, Green Bay's not very good. And then when you go down to Atlantis, you're going to play, you can play Kansas. You're going to start with Dayton. Dayton's pretty good this year. 3 games in 3 days. You're going to run through a lot of guys. So the fact they're playing a lot of guys early and Gart is comfortable playing a lot of guys early, that's pretty encouraging. That's a good problem to have when you have a lot of guys you're trying to rely on.
Exactly. Depth was a problem last year. That's not going to be a problem this year. He likes at least 12 guys. Last game they had Marcus Silver have a little bit of run. He didn't play today. So he's just going to mix and match that rotation so far this year.
Yeah, I like kind of what we see from Carter Gilmore to a degree. He had some moments. I know that some people are kind of ragging on him a little bit. I think he's much better than he was a year ago. You mentioned Hodges. Ilver we didn't see as much, but you look at what Tyler Wall is able to do, just the way he's able to make plays, create plays for himself. I think that's going to be critical for this team this year as they kind of find an identity post Johnny Davis. But certainly the guard rotation, I think Wisconsin feels pretty comfortable where they are. I want to see a little bit more of Kamari McGee. I'll be interested to see what McGee does on Tuesday when he plays his former team. But again, there's so many questions with this team, but the fact that they're 2-0 and they've won 2 different ways. You win on Monday with really, really impressive 3-point shooting and some good offense. Today, you win it with defense. This seems a little bit of an enigma, but again, they're 2-0 and 2 pretty good quality wins. South Dakota was picked 3rd in the Summit. Stanford, I think once they get healthier, they're picked 5th with a first place vote in the Pac-12. They're going to win some games. That's going to help Wisconsin in their strength of schedule and their RPI.
And they're not going to shoot that horribly going on. They were 1 of 15, 1 of 14. They just didn't shoot it well today. So yeah, they're not going to do that very much this year. And yeah, it's still 2-0. It's 2 games in, but that identity seems to be there so far. So lot to like so far.
Yeah, Wisconsin held Stanford under 0.8 points per possession. You're going to win a lot of games like that, more so than shooting 37% from the field. So, Wisconsin and Green Bay on Tuesday. We will be there at BadgerBlitz.com from cavernous American Family Field. Ben Worgull, Raul Vazquez. Thanks for watching.